Good morning, happy Friday. Hello, Vrizix. How are you doing today? I am happy that it's a Friday, that we're pretty much at the weekend. Let's transition over to the main screen. All right. What are we doing today? We are working on WebAssembly again because it's an Exploration Friday. So we have this lovely object pointer that we're getting when we run the code that we gotten last time. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. Basically, Vrizix subscribed with Prime. You subscribed for 3 months total and on a 2-month streak right now. Oh, thank you so much for that subscription. Thank you. And have a good streaming session. Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait until we get the next thing. So now that we got the chat mode, it's gonna be good to be able to get the events, so then I can do things on screen. Like when there's a subscription. But that's awesome. Thank you, Vrizix. Okay, so basically we have this this universe, and so we're console logging universe where we're doing wasmUniverse.new. It's working, as in we see. So we have like self. X random. Okay, so then we have X on here, and that's an F32. Well, we've set that to be. Do we actually have here on it? Because we can run new, and we get this pointer. Can I run console log universe.x? Does that work? No, it does not. Okay, so we get access, we can run new, and it does this stuff for us, but it doesn't get us out. So that's, I think, that's the next thing. Now, also in a completely different area, we got a comment from let's see, Leopold. Leopold did 2 comments, right? There was let's see. Can I copy all of this out? Let me see if I can copy this into here. Just new file. Okay, so here's the comment from Leopold, which apparently, oh, I missed the L. Okay, so you need to get the path. Okay, but that's for the Webpack stuff, and I think we got that, but it's probably, let's see, I think now our stuff is working, kind of. In our JavaScript stuff, like we could get, okay, get the canvas, the universe.new, universe.render, universe.tick. So basically this was that, like, the first time when we were trying to go through the exact example from the book, and it wasn't working. So what we're trying to figure out now is sort of like experiment around with this and trying to see what's going on here. Can I can I get this X? Now, could I create another function on here? It's like pub function get X. And if I return an F32 and we just return self.x. So if I do that, we would want this to now be get X. It shouldn't work because I haven't compiled the Rust yet. But if I hit refresh, interesting. It doesn't error. It should have recompiled there. Do I need... I think I need to do like the WASM build again. Is that through here? No, not that. Oh, WASM pack build, not WASM build. So I got WASM pack build. Okay, I think those are fine. Then we'll go back into www and we'll run npm start. Because I think that's the command. Let's check our package.json again. For scripts, we have build and start. That's all. Webpack config, webpack.config. Yeah, just start webpack dev server. So that should be fine. Oh, look at this. Function get X. Okay. So if I run you as a function, 25. Ooh, we get the number. Okay, so does that mean, can I, because you weren't, I can't get X directly because you're not public. Is that right? So there's nothing there. If I make you public, which of course, so every time I do that, I need to, let's go ahead and just create another window in here. We need to rebuild this, recompile our Rust code. And then I don't remember if we need to restart the server from that, but if we come back here, oh, we get 25 right away. Okay, so I need to make it public so we can get access to that number. But otherwise, it's kind of working exactly like we expect it to. Now, this is creating a new in sort of the Rust style format. I'm really curious if I create a function in here, so a pub function called Constructor, and that's like oftentimes when you're creating a class in JavaScript, this might be what it's looking for is a constructor function. So if I do this, and this is going to return self, then I want to do self x. Let's just do like 12.0. So if I save you, we'll rebuild, and in our JavaScript here, so we have universe, and I want const other universe equals wasm.universe. So it's actually going to be new wasm.universe. Like this. is that going to work? And so we have the X here, and then we're going to have console.log other universe. Inside the parentheses, please. Other universe, like that. So I'm going to take you out. I'm going to hit save. We're getting a new object, but there's nothing in it. So I don't think the constructor does exactly what we're expecting it to do. Because I don't think I can do other universe .x. Yeah, null pointer passed to rest. So basically, we can't do constructor exactly like what JavaScript is expecting for us. We can't use the new keyword. We're going to have to use sort of a more Rust style thing, which is not a terrible idea. Like that's just what we're going to have to do. But it's good for us to know that that's a limitation for us. So the next part about this was we were going to get access to where's the WebAssembly? I think this is it. We want to get access to the DOM in a way, mostly to do, what is it, canvas. So we got hello world, roles, implementing live. So yeah, like creating a cell, creating a universe, that's all fine and good. How do we pass in that stuff? That's what I really care about. Okay, so we're gonna take in all of that. We have the style. Okay, so const pre. So we're gonna get the game of life canvas, which is going to be a pre. Oh, it's not going to be an actual canvas. It's just a pre. Oh, weird. We're going to create a new universe. We're going to create a render loop, and then pre text content equals universe.render, universe.tick, and then request animation frame render loop. Okay, which then creates all of this stuff. Now, then this one goes into a canvas. So maybe we can try this first. So we want to create a pre-element in our, let's go. So www, we have our index.html. Let's open you over here. Open all of you over here. We don't really need that. We're running JavaScript. Okay, so we want a pre-tag, and we want to give this an ID of, I guess this is going to be our pre game of life. And I don't think there was anything else that I cared about here, right? Not really. It's just a pretty simple there. We now want to grab that DOM element, so in index.js. We can grab that pretty easily with, let's see, const pre equals document dot. So we could do what they did, which is get element dot by ID, but that's old school. There's a new one, query selector, and then we hand it essentially just a CSS query. It's exactly like what we might be used to with jQuery. So in this case, this is going to be exactly what we put in here. That gives us this pre. And then we're going to create a new universe. we're going to create a render loop, which is a function. Oh, and then request animation frame, which then runs this render loop every single animation frame. Okay, that's fine. Pre-text content equals universe.render, universe.tick. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense here. Text content equals whatever we want to render out. So let's go ahead and create our loop here. So it looks like this can just be a function. So function game loop. I don't think we're gonna be able to pass anything in. And then at the end of this, we're going to do request animation frame and pass in game loop. And then down here, we're going to start everything off by request animation frame and game loop. So we're just going to go back and forth. Like, this is essentially a tail recursion call, except it's abstracted inside of here. So I think that it's outside of the entire call stack. You know, we don't need to worry about Stack Overflow in this case. It's a little bit of a trick. Okay, so now we want to create our new universe, which we know we can do. We probably want to do that outside of the game loop. Yeah, create our new universe. Okay, so this is going to be wasm.universe, except I think it's universe.new. Like that. And so now we have a universe. And so if I save here, everything should be fine. And running just fine. Yeah. Now it's running like, I don't know, as fast as possible, 60 frames per second. I don't actually know what request animation frame is doing for us, like speed-wise. But we have this here. If I console log universe.x, for example, we should see, yeah, this is incrementing a huge number of times. Can I make this bigger? No? Oh, I can make it smaller. So this is as big as it gets. So we see that this is running, that feels like faster than 60 times per second. But we get our item there. Okay, so that's fine. Then we want to render, so get all the text out essentially, or whatever it's going to be displayed. So pre.text content. So it's really just going to be text at that point in time. All right, so pre.text content equals universe.render. So we're going to say pre our DOM node dot text content equals universe.render. Well, that's going to be a problem. We should get an error. Yeah, universe.render is not a function. So we will fix that into, where is that? Library.rs. Let's go ahead. We have this constructor is useless to us. We have this getX. Doesn't matter if we have this public here, but we're about to not use this at all. So let's change this to a render, and this render is going to return X. So we should get just the number, well, 25 out. We do have to rebuild this. And by doing that, here's the 25 displayed on the screen. So this is how we're gonna get stuff inside, like from Rust to our browser. And like this is feeling a lot more like what I would expected WebAssembly to give us. Is a lot of core logic can now be in Rust, even though I'm just doing a tiny bit of DOM manipulation. Now I'm doing the DOM manipulation itself, like technically, inside of JavaScript. You know, I'm just saying like, hey, text content equals, but what happens in there does happen in Rust. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and what's next? We want universe.tick. So we can figure out what our we can figure out very easily what our frame rate is here. So let's do that calculation inside of here. So if we, let's say in our universe, we're gonna have like a frame rate, and we know that this is gonna be an F32. Maybe we should make this be like an F64. And I also want to we want the number of frames that we've really looked at. So that way we can sum them all up. Let's, so we have a frame rate. Probably an F32 is good enough. We're also gonna want to count those frames. So we're gonna do frames. Let's see. How is this gonna work? Am I gonna be able to get the timing of them though? Like the delta? Oh, I don't think I am going to. I can do an instant at the beginning of each render and then do another instant. Oh, it's gonna be really inaccurate because I don't think instant is necessarily super good at like actually getting me appropriate times within like the nanoseconds, because we're potentially moving really, really fast. So I don't know if this is worthwhile. If we continue looking in here, we have a universe.tick. So if we take a look at what render gives us, so tick is just going through and figuring all that stuff out. What's render? Here it is, self to string. That's all that's happening here. And so if we look at what universe is holding, it's a width, a height, and a cells. And so to string is the format. So we're implementing format display ourselves. For line and self to cells as slice. So we see that it's displaying out like these actual blocks. So that seems fairly like easy enough. And an idea is that we're not really drawing anything to the screen. We're just displaying like text. And so if we have a grid in our universe and we're doing like, this is doing cells here. Just like a single vector of cells. So we can do that. And then also we have this cell that would allow us to be dead or alive. Oh, it's an enum cell with dead or alive equals to 0 and 1 as the basic values. So we can just figure out what that is. I think that's, yeah, because if cell is cell.dead, we don't really need it to be 1 or 0, do we? This, yeah, we don't need it to be 1 or 0. I wonder if that's to be more in line with how a lot of other languages use enums. To be more approachable as a tutorial. Okay, so if I want, let's not do this. We have a render, which is currently returning self.x, but I don't need any of that. We don't need this entire random number thing. That was fun while we had it. We don't need the alert. We're not going to use this. So we don't have this alert there, and we don't have this alert here. Okay, but we do have a universe. So with our universe, what do we want to store inside of here? We want to store the width and the height, I think. Is that what they were suggesting? Where's our universe? Yeah, width and height. So this is the number of cells high and number of cells wide. So we can do width. This can be a U. Depends upon how big we want to make this world. A U8 is fine. So like 255 across. I don't think we're gonna go past that. And height, a U8 to begin with, and then we're gonna want cells. So cells is gonna be a vector of, and then let's have, really it's just gonna be true or false, right? But we can definitely use the, I don't know if we're gonna need a to be public. An enum cell, which is gonna be on like alive, dead. And so you're gonna be a cell like that. And so when we create a new one, self, we don't want to do that. We're gonna have width. Let's make this nice and simple to begin with. We're gonna do 5. Height is 5. And let's do for cells, we'll do a new vector of, let's turn them all on for alive maybe. Or we could just do like, it's 5 of them, so it should be pretty simple. So cell, alive, cell, oh, there's actually 25 of them. Hold on. So cell, alive, cell, dead. For the rest of them, let's do cell, alive. That's the 3. Alive. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can actually, here, let's just do this as a loop here. That'll be fine. Cells equals a new vector. Make you mutable. We're gonna loop through, so we know that it's gonna be width times height is gonna be the length of this vector. So that's gonna be, we don't really care about the index for this, do we? We're just gonna start with underscore in 0 dot dot, and we're gonna take in, so 5 times 5, so we know it's 25. And so that we're gonna do cells dot push, and this is gonna be a new cell. Set the capacity of the vector to 25. Absolutely, yeah, I can do that. Alive. I think we could probably also use an array. Like, it doesn't need to be a vector. This could be an array. Here, let's do that. If we do this is an array that holds a cell, and you're 25. So then you're not a vector anymore. You're this that holds cell 25. Expected value found cell. Oh wait, do you not know how to, I don't need to make you public, do I? Expected value found cell. Oh, try using one of the enums variants. Okay, yeah, hold on. So you're gonna be alive. There we go, and we want 25 of you. What are you upset about? expected enum cell found. Oh, I need to set your size. I thought I could initialize it this way. Let's see. Is the hash brackets ... a decorated or in Rust? I keep on forgetting the name of them. Oh, is it? Okay. It's semicolon. Thank you, Vrizix. There we go. So we've initialized this. It's cell.live 25 times. So we get this there. And now we're gonna go into just cells like that. Why the height and the width? So that's so I can calculate where things are. I don't know if this matters. Like I should. I think it's to calculate where I am in the cell dynamically, so that I can easily change this. So here, let's do this a little bit better. Let width equals 5. Let height equals 5. This is going to be. I want back out. Let's do this up here. Const width. What do we decide? This is gonna be U8 equals 5. Const height. U8 equals 5. There, I can set this here. Height is useless most times, but it's weird not to have it, right? Probably, especially like it's a square, so like we could just set to be like size or length. But yeah, it does feel a little bit odd to have it, but I guess we could always have a non-square shaped thing. So, all right, so you are U8. We want you to be, can I do width times height? Will you figure that out? Oh, U size found U8. Okay, never mind. You need to be U size. Should I convert? I could convert. Hold on. Let's convert here. Can I do an into? Will you figure that out? No, you won't. Okay, so as U size. As U size. Yeah, height is going to be like whichever one we don't use normally, because we're making a square to begin with. Okay, so then we have you, and so then you're going to be with times height. Now I'm doing this twice, and I have to do this like, you know, U size over here. I'm thinking, and I don't know if this is a this is just me stretching because I want to use it because it's new into the language. I want to do a const function. Const function, like this is going to be the volume. So what is it going to be? It's going to be like the world volume. We're not going to take anything in, and we're going to return a U8, which means I still have to convert it to U size, but we're going to take width and just times height, and that's what we're going to return. So now I can use world volume here as U size. World volume, like that. And then U is going to be world volume here. So are you mismatch types expected? Oh, U size. It still needs it to be fine as U size. And then we don't need U. And then cells, we have U. So then width, you're going to be width and height. I don't really need to store you at all inside of here. We just have our cells because we have those constants that we can grab at any time. Anything that is related to memory has to have be usize. Okay, that's good to know. I might as well change these to usize then. Hold on, let's do that really quickly. Usize. And then down here, we can do this as usize, gets removed, and there we go. So we calculate the world volume. So if you're not familiar with this entire constant function, which I don't know if this is the right pattern for it, and I do have an error. Let's make sure that, let's see, expected F32. Oh, for the render thing. Hold on. I'm not returning anything right now, so we're fine with that. What are you upset about? The trait bound center mark copy is not satisfied. Okay, so we need copy for cell. So let's implement that. Derive copy. Do I also need clone? I do. Okay, so that gives me that. So that's all good. For WASM, this might not be true because of the constructed memory arena. I don't know. Yeah, we don't know. Okay, so we have this. Now, so const functions, like it sounds kind of like a weird idea, right? We have a constant, and constants in Rust are like more traditional in their constants. Like up here, I'm saying, okay, I have a constant width. It's always going to be height. I cannot change this at all, like ever. Unlike JavaScript, where just the location to it change. But like if I created an object or something else, I don't actually know if I can do that in Rust. But anyways, constant is for this function is going to be calculated at compile time. So it actually figures out what this is going to be at compile time and then just returns it at runtime. So it just, after compiling, it knows this is 25. It doesn't have to do, like when I run new on here, it's not going to have to calculate 25 at all. For our case, it's pretty, that's a very cheap operation. But I heard that Microsoft increased their speed of some of their stuff by 50% almost, because they were doing a huge amount of computing MD5 hashes in their constructors. And so having that be in happen at compile time was really good for them. This is the first time I have any excuse to use it. Even though it's sort of whether or not it's good. Okay, so we have our cells. It doesn't need to be mutable because we're just setting it. They're all alive. And then we have them out here. So with render, the idea here is we're just returning, what are we returning? Are we returning a string? Yeah, we were turning a full string, but your compilation time goes up. Yeah, so it's really what matters to you. Are you going to compile once, after you're finished constructing, you compile once and run a lot of times? You're gonna have to make that decision. What's more useful to you? Okay, so render. For Microsoft, I can definitely see it being really important to be able to do something like, okay, we have all these things and a library needs to do this heavy calculation, but that calculation is static from when it's compiled, and so when we install it, we could do that compilation on your system. It's and then every time you run it, it's super fast. All right, so we're going to return. I think we can do self dot to. Nope, that's the wrong. okay, to string, but in order to do that, we need to implement display. Okay, so to string, like this. Now it's going to yell at us saying, hey, we need to implement display on universe. So let's go ahead and do that. So implement standard FMT display for universe. Now this is going to yell at us saying, we're missing, not all trait items are missing FMT. Okay, and so it FMT, it gives us this. And if this is always a little bit weird how that works. We need to return, I guess we just return an okay. Oh, right, because it gives us, we have to use this write macro to write it out. Even though I'm not returning this write, yeah, it's a little bit odd, I think. But okay. So for example, if we just start by writing hello world, and we do that, and then down here, we return okay, like that. What are you upset about? Wrong number of type arguments. Did you give me the wrong result? This is format result. Can I find formatter in the scope? Okay, let's do that. Insert you. Right. Unexpected. Oh, do you must have something like that? Requires at least a format string argument. Pretty sure that underscore, that this thing can be omitted. It came in automatically. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. If I save that, no errors. So maybe we can. If I put in something like 25. What are you upset about? No method name write format found for reference in the current scope. All right, what am I doing wrong? We have write here. Oh, yeah, I'm using this wrong. Put the F in write. Okay, so this is, we hand F to write, and then we can add in our hello world. That's what we needed to do. Which might be an error, so can I question mark you? I can, which will return the result. All right, perfect. Thank you, Mir Klemp, and thank you, Patatas del Papa. All right, so this is standard display. We have the render to string. So back in our index.js, we run our render. Now this runs like the one game loop, and just constantly runs render and over again, but we're not changing things. So let's go ahead and run this and see, we got hello world here. Perfect. And we can easily, oh, do we have an error. Okay, that went past my history. So that's cool. Failed error in validating input. Okay. They really need to make it where it doesn't spit out all the WebAssembly on error. Yeah, that'd be nice. So I have no idea what happened here. Let's go ahead and try this again, except this time pipe to more. Display implementation returned an error unexpectedly. So our display implementation displayed an error. That's what happened here. We have no errors, but you didn't like this. So if I do something like that, let's also then if I just put in like number 25, okay, how do you like this? I do not want to. There you go. Display implementation returned an error, so maybe format attempts to allocate. Maybe. Now, if we come back to here, let's see what we have. So now, something I noticed, we have the wasm bind gen here. We're leaving out that like underscore weirdness, like the type, the typing of the formatter. That seems to be fine. We have, okay, so I don't see that this is too terribly wrong for that. Wasm bind gen for you. We haven't implemented tick yet, so we don't need to worry about that. Implement universe, so that this is all like just internal functions. Get an index, don't worry about that. Okay, so wasm bind gen. Now with this, so clone and copy, debug, partial equal, and equal. Do I need to implement wasm bind gen maybe? And cell, possibly? What is that repr macro? That's a good question. U8. I think that's to say that I'm like setting it equal to 0 and 1, except I'm not doing that in mine. It's important that we have the repr U8 so each cell is represented as a single byte. It is also important that the dead variant is 0 and a live variant is 1, so we can easily count a cell's live neighbors with addition. Oh, okay, I see. So they want this. It's to have an adeterministic memory layout. Interesting. So if I don't, here, let's not do. Let's make sure this works without implementing display. It's like if I do this, we don't do, if I just return like hello world, whole bunch of bangs, .toOwned, that should give us our render. You fail. Okay, so it's possibly not in there. It's somewhere else. And I wonder if it's in here. Because like we haven't tried recreating this from this point in time. So what are you yelling at me about now? Let's see. Result unwrap on an error. Assertion failed, left equals to right. Do I have a test? Oh, that seems a bit odd. Where is that? Layout.rs? Oh, that's in libcore alloc layout? Oh, it's in my tool chains. Interesting. So here's this hello world. So we got that. Yeah, something involving padding. Interesting. I wonder if it's this thing that I'm doing. So let's say I don't do cells. Let's remove you. So if we just start with this, and all we have is render here. Hold on. Yeah, okay, so error in validating input. Okay, so what happened here? Is it my const function? Is this wrong? Should I get rid of that? No, so it's not that. Let's just get rid of everything and go back to what we had before, just slowly, and figure out what it is that's going wrong here. Not that. We have the universe that has nothing in it. So we're just returning a new self, and we have render here. So let's remove render. So we just have this. We don't even have our cell. Let's just go back to this. Okay, so we're able to compile this one at a time. So let's now start adding things back in slowly one by one. So let's first create our let's create a cell. Oh, you know what? Okay. I wonder if it's that cell. Although I removed it, it wasn't like being used. That would be weird. So let's do an enum cell. And so if we have alive and dead like that, and I don't do anything else, okay, you still work. Now, let's do abstract universe. We want width is U8, height is U8, and so we're going to have now new that width equals do 5, height equals 5. Width, height. Okay, so if I do that, you're upset. Missing fields, height and width, and initializer of universe. Really? Thank you, Rizix. I need to turn this on because I forgot to turn that on earlier. All right, so that makes that happy. Okay, we're still able to compile. Let's now add in the cells. So let's go ahead and just make this a vector instead of an array and being clever like that. So maybe I had something wrong with our attempting to do it like as a static array. So let cells equals so let's just start with making this an empty vector. We're going to do cells, and you're going to be a vec of cell like that. We have an empty vector, and we store you in here. Okay, so if I do that, we can still build. Okay. Then I want to put all of the cells that we have in here. So I can't remember how to create a vector with a sizing. Is it with capacity? Okay, so with capacity, this will be width times height, like that. You're upset now? Mismatched types, expected U8, found U size. Oh, because you got set here. So width as U size, that. You bet on fail with this. Let's go ahead and try it. Okay, so failed opening. No, it didn't fail. I just need to run it twice. It liked this so far. But I haven't put these in there. I haven't put the cells in it. So now let's... Can I don't think I can loop through the vector because it doesn't actually have anything in it, right? The famous compiled a second time for it to work. Of course. Of course. All right. So let's do the let's now do our loop through this. So we don't really care about that actually we do care about this. This is going to be our index in 0 ... width times height. And then we want to then say cells of position index. Set that to be equal, so we need you to be mutable, and we're gonna say cell alive. So we're gonna do that now. Once again, it needs to be U size. Fine. You want to be U size so much, you're U size now, just to make that easier on me. Okay. So we figured that out. We put that in there. Now can we compile? Yes. Okay, we're still compiling. So now we have all of these cells in here. We're compiling. You really hate how Rust Analyzer puts the type dead smack in the middle of a for statement. Oh, like this? Yeah. Sometimes it helps. Vec number value number of items. Ooh, will that actually work? Okay, let's try that now. So we do that. So then let cells equals vec. This is gonna be cell. You really want attention, and you're trying to jump up on me, but you can't. Hold on, Kitty Cat wants to come up and say hi. This is the new Kitty Cat, in case you haven't seen him. Hello, Danny. You're creeped out by Rust Analyzer inserting fake text into the document. Yes. I was ignoring him all morning. He just wanted to be pet. You can sit in my lap. And you can't drink my tea. You hate it at first, but sometimes you think it's great. It is really nice when it works. Like when I don't, like when I want to like see, ooh, I got an option or something else. It gives you, you know, it lets you see right away what something is going to be, so I don't have to wait till like the compiler runs. So that is actually really nice, yeah. The problem is with the source control and checking out code diffs, you have no type information, and that's true. Okay, so with that, we're creating, okay, so we want cell alive. I'm a little bit surprised I'm not getting the type completion there. And then here it's going to be the width times height. What's going on? Okay, so clone and copy needs to be implemented for this. Let's go ahead and derive that. Derive clone and copy. Okay, so now you're happy there. No errors in here. Still able to compile. So that's a really good sign. Okay, so we can get rid of this. All right. Now we want to, we're at that point where we need to implement our display. Is that right? We don't really need to implement display, do we? Because we could do a render however we want. Let's create a pub function render self return a string, and if I return a like hello world, hello from Rust dot toOwned. So if I do this, can I still compile? No. There's our problem. Render returning a string does not work. So how about toString? No. Can I do a string from? Like are they all the same, or are they subtly different? No, okay. Okay, interesting. So why are you working with this? Why can't we do pub function render string? We have self to string, but it's causing this other problem. The problem is, oh no, that's the previous conversation. Yeah, I can't do like a static string return on this. And if we take a look at what we're getting out of here, unexpected true. Export global cannot be mutable on global. Wait, cannot be mutable on global. Does that... You're not mutable. And I'm not saying that you're like mutable or anything when I'm returning you. This is kind of weird. It's pub. Okay, so index.js. You're just calling render here multiple times. I'm not even doing anything with these. What happens if I turn a stir? Let's try it. If I turn a stir, not even like a stir slice, just a stir. Ooh, we got errors in here. The size of for values of type stir cannot be known at compile time. So the trait bound stir wasm bindgen convert into wasm ABI is not satisfied. So okay. Now if I actually try to run this, 55, what? Yeah, we get these errors. So it will refuse to compile because it doesn't know the size. What if I do a static stir? It's currently not sound to use lifetimes in function signatures. Okay. And I can't do a stir slice because it's going to say, hey, this is cannot return a borrowed ref. Isn't the whole purpose of a stir is they're known at compile time? It is their entire purpose, yeah. Although like a stir slice would be saying like, hey, look, this exists, I'm returning a reference. But then this gets unloaded from memory. Of course, this doesn't actually get unloaded from memory. It's like it's still in memory just because it's part of the binary. So and if I do this, then it's like, hey, we can't handle that. So yeah, this render is a little bit odd of how we're gonna get this out. So what are they doing here? Is calling self to string on this, is that much different? There's a wasm context, and as we're loading wasm at runtime, we can't expose const, I guess. I guess so, but I removed the consts. So we have wasm bindgen. All of these shouldn't matter because like the cell isn't doing anything at all. I could remove the entire cell part from being stored in here. Like I could say cells is gone. Cells is gone. Like I could do that. Return array of bytes or an owned string. Yeah, so if we go back to string again, to owned. Let's do to owned. See, if I do that, this compiles, but when I try to run this, we get this giant error here. And if we take a look at what we have, yeah, I don't know what's going on with this one. This is a little bit odd. This error message is not great. You seen an array overflow in that error? Ooh, byte index is out of bounds. Okay. So if I remove you, I'm not doing any array stuff anymore, but we're still getting that. So why is this giving us an out of bounds like overflow error? Let's say give like an empty string. Like just an empty string like that. Still an error. This is a different error. Okay, so no pointer passed to Rust recursive use of an object detected, which would lead to unsafe aliasing to shrink to a larger capacity. I can't give it a string of any size. Like I can't give it a string on the heap, I guess? I think that's what I'm seeing. This is a very it's a very different error. Can I give this? Can't give it on a stack or the heap. How am I going to give it a string? Lord Mist, hello. I know. It's like, you got to let me give it some way. Let's try. Okay, let's try returning a format. We'll do width, height, like this. Self.width, self.height. Okay, so if I do that and I return a format, okay, different error. Null pointer passed to Rust recursive, so back to that again. You're seeing some older Stack Overflow suggesting to use C-string for WASM. So the overflow is not finding a null term. Oh, interesting. Did they do anything in the book? Can you add a /n to the end of your string and trick it into checking that? Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so new line there. Okay, so that didn't work. it's interesting that it wants me to do like that standard format. Okay, so Danny Fritz, you were suggesting to use C string for WASM. I've not used C string before. What's that? Import standard FFI C string. Okay. New. T unknown. Creates a new C compatible string from a container of bytes. This function will consume the provided data. Okay, so example C string new hello dot expect new failed. Oh, weird. Okay. So if we do hello from C string, we'll just expect that. I failed. So we get that. Then we need unsay puts to, okay. Function puts, I don't know what they're doing with that. Can I just return you? Expected struct string, found struct. Okay, so I want this type. That. The treat bound standard FFI C string wasm bindgen convert into web is not satisfied. Required. Okay, so that doesn't know how to do that. You did give a link here, Danny. Yeah, it's an old Stack Overflow post. That's what, I've been finding that with Stack Overflow a lot recently. I've been getting a lot less mileage out of Stack Overflow recently. Like every year, I use it less and less. Okay, here's this S into raw. Mute C care. So S into raw. So I want let my string equals that. My string dot into raw. Oh, I can do an into string. Nope, wrong one. Okay, can I do this? And you, okay, you return a result, so I'm gonna unwrap you also. You want to turn a C-like pointer. Okay, result unwrap on an error from C string. Try to shrink to a larger capacity. Null pointer passed to rest recursive. So we got the error value, hello from C string failed. So tried to shrink to a larger capacity. Isn't the problem with we alloc? I don't know. I've not worked with this before. Do I need to put this in an unsafe? No, it would yell at me, wouldn't it? So this was attempting to put into string. So I think this is yelling at me for that. So if we go back to @mute c char and at centered OS raw c char. Okay. We throw you in here, bring you in, and now, so you're gonna be, we're gonna return my string into raw, like that. Okay, no errors for this. Compiled. Okay. We're C now. We went full circle. So now I'm getting So I'm just calling render to put that in there. Render, these are ASCII characters, but it should be the same ASCII character, right? Is it repeating this over and over again? No, it's just going up forever. I don't know why. All right, so you see char. Well, this seems wrong. Looks like we're about to overflow that buffer. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. So is there a way to like do a null and like a format? So can I do like a format and have like null, like not new line? Is there like a null? Do I have to do like /r/n? Okay. /0. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so we know that worked. I'm gonna copy you, just paste you right there. We know that worked. If I go back to string again, format hello world, and then null, format that. That's a neighbor's dog. That's not gonna work. Yeah, that didn't work. No pointer. Okay. String is after all still a struct and not a pointer, pointer like it expects. So I guess what I'm wondering is, I think you can use string as pointer though. How do I get hello world there? Wait a second. What? 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 Okay. Generally speaking, I expect when my code fails to compile that it doesn't run. Why, when I compile this code, does this work? Did JavaScript just invade Rust? Like, I thought the entire idea of this was to put Rust into JavaScript, not like make it so that way you could have errors and nobody cares. What is going on here? Okay, so was this working the entire time and me just thinking that compiler errors is a bad thing and I should have just YOLO'd it. So it shouldn't work. It really shouldn't. Okay, so here. Let's try this. If I have a width and a height, and I bring in width like that. I don't have anything else. I'm just doing that. And I rerun my found, oh, no semicolon. Okay, can I please run cargo expand? I bet that wasm changed the string return type to something else. Or maybe magic. Yeah, that's a good idea. Cargo expand. Okay, so apparently errors don't mean anything anymore. All right, so this is more than one page. Oh, wow. Okay, to make this easy to see, so I'm showing it here, but also for those of you on my Discord, I'm gonna paste this in the Discord. I'll also paste a link to Discord right after this. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna do in streaming videos. Oh, my message over 2,000 characters. Upload as a file. Add a comment. It's stuff. Let's see. The output. Upload. Oh, it created as message.txt. Blah. Okay, well, in the case you want to go look at it, peruse like at your own leisure. Here's a link to join that Discord if you would like. But it kept it as a string. Oh yeah, I see here. Pub function render kept that as a string. Yeah, interesting. You can see everything important. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on here. That we can just do whatever we want. Apparently we don't care. Okay. Well, the important things that I think we learned here is to test in the browser, even if you get all of this crap. We have a fatal error on validating input, and yet it still did the thing. Which doesn't feel right to me. But I guess we're in JavaScript land now, so anything goes. Then we can get the stuff out on the screen. Maybe an incorrect invisible character on a file. I don't know. You saw everything I did. I haven't added anything. Yeah, we could try cargo format. Let's try it. We can try cargo clippy too. It'll probably have a lot more things to yell at me about. 5 warnings, but no errors. Unused imports, functions never used, variances never constructed. I should add a default implementation for universe. That's it. Nothing crazy. I don't know. This is kind of odd and weird. Anyways, I am gonna have to go into work though. I'm a little bit late. I promised somebody that would help pair with them before our deadline today. So cargo fix, haha. Post it on Twitter and let the rest enthusiasts fix it. Oh yeah. I've been yelled at on Twitter in the past for like claiming things. So that's a good way. I could also give a conference talk on how to do this, and then somebody will correct me. I'm sure. So odd. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wind us down for a second. What do we got here? Who's live and streaming? I see. Mr. Halsey has the least number of viewers. So let's go ahead and raid Mr. Halsey. What? No advertisement? Cool. Stacking. Well, awesome. Thanks for stopping by. I'm pretty much done for this stream. So have fun at your meeting. I'm gonna go ahead and set up my raid to Mr. Halsey. All right, I'm gonna switch over to my ending screen. Thank you everybody for stopping by and watching me struggle with WebAssembly. Although we figured some stuff out, even though it makes no sense whatsoever. I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. It is Friday. I'm doing these exploration streams every Friday. Next week, I'm probably going to skip Friday because I'm taking Zilby, the little kitty cat, into the vet for just a routine checkup. Nothing's wrong. And that's going to be at 8 a.m. in the morning, so right in my middle of my normal stream. I'm going to see if I can stream either on Saturday to make up for that or later in the day. So stay tuned. Follow me here on follow me here on Twitch or on Twitter for information about that. My next planned stream will be Sunday morning for we're creating a Introduction to Rust course.